Hello, and welcome to another important chapter of a tome plucked right off the shelves at the heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your informed host, Lothran, and there's ever so much more data to comb through. So let's get back to the work, shall we? Go grab a filling meal, settle into the perfect spot, and pay accurate attention to Fleet Part 16. Agenda. Are you listening, S-Stock? Kam asked of the quiet man at the end of the table. He looked up from his papers, shuffling them around, pushing them aside, and then nodding and gesturing for Kam to continue. If we are that much of a bother, then you can just retreat back to the company of your other CDs. S-Stock looked around the conference room, came to a silent decision, and then gathered his things and started across the space toward the door. Oh, and on your way back, hand me those reports, and head on down to Mera in the pit. Tell her to give you the worst job she can think up. I'll question her when I go to retrieve you at the end of the day. Kam took the pile of hastily scrawled reports, written since all the pads had malfunctioned earlier in the morning. S-Stock wore an expression of complete shock, but he did as he was told, hanging his head as he trudged out of the room. Now, Bildar, please continue. Kam pivoted easily while the furry beast in his lap clawed playfully at his gold coat. I must say, you're adapting to this leadership thing rather well, Commander Novir. You too, Vildar? Kam accused of his friend, but didn't offer more as he let the long, dark red creature nibble upon his fingers. Ow! Ah! Fuck! Kam retrieved his hand from the mouth of needle-sharp teeth. The beast responded with alarm that it had injured Kam enough to draw blood and stood up to hug and nuzzle him to soothe away the remains of its mistake. It's a little odd that the only Zeria of the group chose you. Vildar pushed forward beyond the offhand comment. But, ignoring that and going to more important matters, I had partial success. As you know, I secured enough rations to supply our current number of troops for another month. But with the 80 or so soldiers arriving tomorrow, that won't really last. All the miners around Gallivant Station seemed interested in trading for or more of the fix, as many as you could provide. They may be even more interested now that you've begun to make them in a modular fashion. Credit for that goes to S-Stock for the first mod, and Vozon for most of the others, Kam pointed out with an accusing finger, and the inquisitive Zarya mimed the motion, repeating it several times Bildar's way. Even Kam couldn't hide his smile. Though I am surprised you never mentioned these little devils in any of the survey reports you gave to me, Vildar. They're just so adorable. Kam got the attention of the pointy-faced devil in question, who went back to nuzzling its face to his chin. I wasn't aware there were any Zeria on this moon, Commander. All my previous surveys were done at my own cost, so no landings. Just as many low-orbit scans as I could pull off before system drones became active. They haven't become active yet, Vildar. A small miracle we can all hope will continue. Kam turned to one of the others at the table. Illyria, how is Mera's progress in the pit? It's right here. She mostly has, the first batch of Digra could be harvested any day now. Mera's still working out the details. The pods are just awful amounts of work to sever from the fungal mass. That's enough, Illyria. I don't need more than just the basics. Kam quieted the nervous wreck of a young woman, turning to his head of engineering. Lotum, any progress on the refinement process on those samples Mera sent to you? Yes, sir. Lotum always had a solution on his mind, but even he had had difficulty with this little project. Not as much as we hoped for, sadly, but comparing what one of my men produced next to the few cans of original oil, we still have, we're fairly certain we have a process that will work for the time being. No telling what the differences in performance will be till we begin making more of the fix. We're going to need a lot more of them soon if we want to eat this month. How many people do you have on it? Kam asked of Lotum. At the moment, sir, as many people as I can spare. It's been difficult to keep up with repairs as is, Commander. I might be able to put 2 more people on it for a couple of days, but if anything breaks or needs fixing or maintenance, I'll have to pull them right back off. Use your discretion, Lotum. Rill, what about those javelins? Kam turned to his lead pilot for this round of bad news. Even worse than you feared, Commander, Rill began, sounding more than a little distraught and exhausted. All but one of them is in a non-functioning. Rill paused at the eerie humming moans echoing through the station. Relax. That's Trike. I'm going to have to take him on that survey as soon as possible. I'll need the rest of you to pick up the slack in my absence. That's Trike? Vildar asked as he grabbed his steaming hot mug to keep it from vibrating right off of the table. He misses me. I haven't flown him in 2 months since we got here? 3 months, Commander, Lotum offered up as he turned to speak to one of his subordinates that had just jogged into the room. If you'll excuse me, sir, something's come up. Kam waved him off. Fascinating, Vildar replied. Trike is still so much of a mystery to me. What is it really like to connect to him? Another time, perhaps, Vildar. For now, we stick to the order of the day. Kath, anything to report? I'm busy, Kath replied while working on an elbow pad with a pair of delicate instruments in each hand and a few held firmly between her teeth. Any progress on fixing your Nostraj armor? Kath gazed at him long enough to glare, but bent back to her work afterward. What about the other set you were working on for retraining veterans and the like? Kath shot her head back up to squint angrily at her brother. He shot her a glare back, but neither of them commented. I read her last report, Commander. Vildar spoke back up. She's calling the new stuff Flex Armor. Much lighter, way easier to move in. Those shields she invented, the gauntlets can summon them, and her plan is to make it so they can be traded from piece to piece as needed. How large are they? What shape? Kam asked of Vildar, ignoring his perturbed sister for the moment. A little smaller than the average male Jakul chest, and hexagonal in shape. She's been experimenting with altering them to produce a more angular projection as well, but her notes indicate that she thinks she's chronically understaffed. Kath shot Vildar a glare meant just for him. Thank you, Vildar. Thank you for your progress, Kath. I'll make sure that when the soldiers arrive, I send a few more of the more engineer-capable ones your way. Kath pretended to ignore him. Alright, if that's all, I think we can be... Oh wait, Vildar, you mentioned that little no-no here was the only Zeria. I thought all these little guys were the same thing. He was leading them to their base when we saved them from the rovers.
Upon hearing its name, the fur all across the squirming creature's back went rigid. It hefted itself up onto the table, mimicking Kam, pointing to its own nose with a sharp claw. No, 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 it told all of them, pushing its hand back towards its face with each repetition a little firmer, each assertion of selfhood. Even Kath managed to crack a smile and laugh a little at the antics.
That one is Azaria. The others are a more primitive ancestor. I wasn't aware either of them were inhabiting this moon, but there are a number of mountainous forests here, and both of their species do inhabit those biomes. Vildar reached out to pet Nono, but the little beast knocked his hand away and retreated to Kam's protection. Another laugh was shared by all at Nono's behavior. I'm still in a state of shock about them, Commander, though. Well, I can't even say it. Why? What can't you say, Vildar? They're supposed to be extinct, sir. They're precursors to Zir, you see, an offshoot of the same evolutionary line. When the Vu had their war with the Zir, in the end, one of the Vu used a weapon to wipe the Zir from existence in the universe, including beasts like Nono here.
Nono nuzzled itself up against Kam all the harder while pointing to its face yet again for everyone to observe. This little beast certainly knew exactly who he was.
Kam soothed Nono by scratching under his chin. I thought the Vu were much better than the Zir. Who among them would have done such a thing, Vildar? It's unclear, Commander, but given how much I know about history, I doubt there is a race of people anywhere of which all of them can be said to be perfect, or even any of them at all. And so it is, our time together has once more come to its end. I hope each of you enjoyed the tale as much as I have the telling of it. As always, I've been your steady host, Lothran, and this was Fleet Part 16, Agenda, another tale straight from the heart of the Jakuls. And now, we must once more part ways. Korvoth, guide them back along the proper path, back to the safety they know all too well.
Yes, sir, Lothran. Such a cute little curious creature that has attached itself to Kam so recently. But I have a job to do. A pleasant greeting and a fond farewell to each and all. Please leave all your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. Don't you let me catch any of you leaving any of that rude, terrible, or mean stuff, though. You keep all that junk to yourself. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to help us learn, spread, and grow. And don't forget, we strongly encourage each and every one of you to do your utmost to stay safe out there. See you again tomorrow for Fleet Part 17. It's gonna be awesome. Good night and good luck, everyone. You'll need it. Bye-bye. Bye.